My name is Ron Loveday. I am the president and co-founder of Geo, which is specifically a geothermal production for power company. We've designed a system that I think you'll think is pretty interesting. I do. We're very proud of it. This is the normal legal jargon that I give you time to read. Anyway, we are a developer of geothermal systems, as I said. We use two different types of geothermal energy. One is just the straight heat. You normally see something like that in Nevada or Southern California, Greenland, places like that. We also have a system, and you'll be seeing that right now, where we use the geopressure. A lot of guys who've been doing oil and gas, they understand geopressure very, very well. But the interesting thing is, in that process, we'll also produce water. Now, does anybody know what the most needed thing in Texas is right now? Just gave you the answer, water. It's a very needed thing. Geo, we've got about 8 different technologies that we are in the process of patenting. Excuse me. We are splitting Geo's technologies into 2 groups, or specifically 2 companies that we will be making offerings for. One is IG Energy, the other one is Water Rico. While you will be seeing a little bit of both here, they are separate companies that have separate plans in themselves. IG Energy LLC will develop a project that we will be putting in place in Texas, which is very important. Texas has been known for a very long time to be an energy state, but we've never produced any real geothermal. Geothermal energy has been produced in Texas, but it was only as a test project that was put on by the state and by the federal government, but it was proven to actually work here. We have a lot of really talented folks on our team. Some of you will recognize them. Albert Kessler is a well-known gentleman within the community, in the business community. Dr. Knoll, who I'm very blessed to have on our team. Paul Mueller, he's been in the community for a long time. Him and his dad have been doing oil and gas projects for a very, very long time. And then Bruce Cutright, center right, is coming on as our new CEO. What's really neat about this gentleman is he's one of the top 20 geothermal guys in the world. When we saw what we were doing, he saw the opportunity, and he says, I want to be part of the team. And didn't even ask me to pay him at the time, which was pretty nice for somebody that doesn't have money. We do have. We have a lot of scientists that are on our team as well. Dr. Chen, whom you've heard mentioned before, here at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Dr. Rashid Hassan, he's been in the petroleum gas industry for a very long time. He's at Texas A&M College Station. Rick Hay is a geologist and has been with Texas A&M Corpus Christi with the Center for Water Studies, Water Supply Studies. Very, very smart man. And while Mr. Stoner is a great businessman, he is not a scientist. I've got him on the wrong slide, but that's okay. I did not see Mr. Stoner back there. Hello, Mr. Stoner. Dr. Will Gosnell. This gentleman is one of the top 10 geothermal guys in the world. Highly respected. When he saw what we were doing at first, he said, your design is going to change geothermal energy forever. And you'll understand that in another presentation if you get to see it. Dr. Mike Mann helps us with some of the systems integration systems. And I bring all these guys to the front because I have no credentials. Everything that we've done, everything that we do, these guys have looked at and they like it a lot. So I spend a little bit of time. Our legal support team, they're great guys, and I don't want to waste any more time. Why use geothermal energy? Well, it's renewable. It's the absolute only renewable energy out there that's base load. What do I mean by base load? It produces 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't wait for the wind to blow. It doesn't wait for the sun to come up. It just produces. It's renewable, it's reliable, and it's not expensive, which is the crazy part. When you look at all the other renewables that are out there, and we've got renewable companies that have come through the Innovation Center, and I believe we still have one that's here. And I'm not trying to badmouth them. I'm just wondering in my mind why no one is using geothermal energy whenever it's easy to get to and it's reliable. What do you need for geothermal energy? You need 2 things. You need heat, which naturally comes up from the center of the earth, and you need water. The water transports the heat. And so the water goes down into the formation, or it's trapped there naturally, It gets heated by the earth itself. You drill into that formation, you produce that fluid, and out comes the heat. You take the heat out of that fluid, it will actually generate electricity because heat is energy. We're just going to change it from one form into another. Geothermal energy has been used for over 100 years, since 1901 in Lardo, Italy. The way you produce it is you drill into the formation, you relieve the pressure, you let the fluid come to the surface, you take the heat out of it, it spins a generator, you can cool it off, it goes back down into the ground. It's a fairly simple process. In Texas, we have a lot of geothermal energy. Most people say, what do you mean, Texas? There's no geothermal energy in Texas. Well, the Bureau of Economic Geology would beg to differ. In fact, in 1975, when this report was written by the Bureau of Economic Geology, they said there are over 5,000 megawatt centuries of power just in the Rio Grande Rift. Now what that is if you go from El Paso down to Big Bend, 5,000 megawatt centuries. A megawatt produces enough power for 600 homes. Up to 1,000, but 600 is a large home. Then you start looking at the geopressure region, which is along the Gulf Coast. There's 20,000 megawatt centuries. Excuse me. Since 1975, SMU, Southern Methodist University's geothermal department, through a grant from Google, has found out that there is far more than we ever thought heat energy underneath Texas. In fact, if you start down here about McAllen and look at that orange area as it's going back up, does anybody recognize what that is? That's Eagleford. We're drilling a whole bunch of holes in that stuff, aren't we? And it's hot. It's very hot down there. One of the great things about Texas is we've been drilling for oil a very long time. Really? I got 3 minutes. I'm sorry, folks. We got a lot of holes. We want to use those holes. It costs a lot of money to drill those holes. The equipment that we use to produce the energy is off the shelf. So we don't have to actually wait for somebody to produce it or build it. We just buy it, set it up, and it works. It's proven equipment. Again, this is the way it works. You produce the fluid, it runs through the turbine, spins a generator produces it, and you force it back down into the ground. So what are we doing that's going to be different? Well, there's a big problem. Half of the energy that you produce, you use forcing that fluid back into the ground. It takes a lot of energy. Energeo has developed a system that we can actually take that fluid in real time, run it through a proprietary system that we've developed in our patenting. It will produce the electricity. It will produce fresh water. It will produce the residual hydrocarbons that are in there and a condensed brine. All 4 of these are marketable fluids, every one of them. So now what we've done is we've doubled our capacity almost, and we've added 4 revenue streams to our production. So we put it in the system. We produce the fluid, we run it through the generator, we run it through our proprietary system, and out comes money. The great thing is, and I wish I had put it there, here where you see all these dots, it's easily connected to the grid. It's not something that we've got to wait on. It's not something that we've got to plan out. We can actually go into these wells, produce the water, make the electricity, and make fresh water. Don't hold up that one. That's not good. Where can we do it? We can do it right here. Right here in Corpus. This is the heat map for Corpus. This is at 10,000 feet. Just over 10,000 feet. It's over 250 degrees there. This is a slide of the Army Depot. You'll notice the top circle is an old well that's right next to the fence. The bottom circle is the substation, about 100 feet apart. Produce the electricity there, put it in over here. It's a very simple thing. These are the revenue streams from a single well producing 3 megawatts of electricity. That's 1,800 homes of electricity. The value of the water at a raw state value of water. This is not an inflated value for water. The oil and the gas that are residual in this system, the gross is $4.7 million a year. You remove the administrative costs and the operations and the maintenance, and it's a $3 million net off of a single well. Pretty interesting thing. Costs about $11 million to put the system in. If you pay that out over a course of 5 years, you're looking at a very, very nice ROI. By the way, that's not using any subsidies. That's not using any tax credits. That's not using anything other than putting it right into the market and selling it. In 1901, they drilled this well, Spindletop. It was a revolution. It turned Texas for a period of time into the leading energy producer of the world. I believe Texas can do that again, and I want to see us do it. Thank you very much.